With the Stanley Cup Finals officially over, it is finally full-on draft season, and the mock drafts have now been updated with the combine having come and gone. People are locking in their final mocks, their final player rankings. So let's see how the combine and these final player rankings have updated our consensus board. We're going to go right through it and start off with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are still projected to take Gavin McKenna. No need to dwell on it. All indications are he's going to be the #1 overall pick, and I think that is the right call. It is almost near unanimous that he is the best player in this draft, and even though the Leafs might have some other needs, he is the clear pick here. Ditto for the San Jose Sharks, who maybe don't need another forward, but Ivar Stenberg has stood out as the consensus #2 player in this class. As I said in the Fix the Sharks video, if you want to trade and move back and potentially get a defenseman a little later in the draft while accumulating some assets, that's perfectly fine. But Stenberg is honestly rated higher coming into this draft than guys like Michael Misa, so if I was the Sharks, I would just take Stenberg right here. Pick #3 for the Canucks remains the same. Even though there might be the nostalgia reason to go for Manny Malhotra, the consensus says that they should take Chase Reed right here. He is a consensus top 5 pick and is consistently rated the best defenseman in this class. At #4 for the Blackhawks, they will take the second best defenseman in Carson Karls. And then the New York Rangers, as they did last time, will take Caleb Malhotra at pick #5. Pick #6 remains the same as it did from the last consensus board, with Keaton Verhoff going to the Calgary Flames. And then we have our first major move of the consensus board, with Viggo Bjork sliding into pick #7 for the Seattle Kraken. Previously, he was slotted a lot more to go around the 9-10 slot, but after Carolina has won with such small forwards, it seems that he's getting a bit of a bump. Albert Schmitz, who was everybody's 4th best defenseman, falls down a spot to go to #8 to the Winnipeg Jets, and then Daxton Rudolph at #9 to the Florida Panthers, also falling down 1 slot. Out of Boston University, Tynan Lawrence remains in the 10th spot on the consensus board, projected to go to the Nashville Predators. And then Ethan Belchetz, who in every single version of this board has been projected to go 11th to the Blues, stays right there. Ryan Lynn, who took a big jump last time the consensus board was updated, remains at 12th overall, going to the New Jersey Devils. And then a huge change here with Wyatt Cullet, who was previously seen as a guy going in the 20s, now jumping up into the top 15. With more than a few mock drafts having him go in the top 10 actually, so a lot of disparity in opinion on him, but it seems like he's going to be a top 20 pick right now. At pick #14, Oliver Savatu remains right around where he's been ranked consistently. Malte Gustafsson now jumps up a few spots, having gone #15 to the St. Louis Blues. At #16, we have Oscar Hemming, projected to go to the Capitals. He's a guy who's been slowly slipping down the boards as the consensus has solidified. And then Adam Novotny, a guy who was rated much higher in the previous 2 boards, drops all the way down to 17th overall. Nikita Klepov, one of the players I am more bullish on than a lot of mock drafts, rises up to go #18 to the Washington Capitals, and Xavier Villeneuve drops down a few spots, now slotted to go 19th overall. Alexander Command jumps up 5 spots to pick #20 on the consensus board, as some believe Command is one of the best centers in the entire draft. Elton Hermanson, who was previously seen pretty solidly as a top 20 pick, has now fallen out to 21st overall on this draft board. And then behind him, Ilya Morozov, who settles in between where he was ranked in the 1st and 2nd editions of the consensus board. Behind him, it's JP Hurlburt going at pick #23 to the Boston Bruins, consistently been rated right around here. And then Liam Ruck, who also has been consistently in the 23 to 24 pick range, is projected to go to the Canucks via the Minnesota Wild's pick. And Liam Ruck is actually a bright line in this draft, because after him, nobody is considered to be a safe or consensus 1st round pick. Everybody after him could be going in the 2nd round for all I know, or they could go in the 20s. That starts with Juho Paparinen, who was previously pretty solidly an early 20s pick, but has dropped down drastically as the consensus around him has solidified. He's followed by Max Dejanay and Mathis Preston, who have been rated right around here consistently. Tommy Blyle at pick #28 was not even ranked on the previous 2 consensus boards, so it seems that people are warming up to him a little bit more. On the other hand, Marcus Dornmark has fallen pretty much every time I've updated the boards, from 19th now down to 29th overall. Alex Shelov goes at 30th overall. He's been rated right around here pretty consistently. Liam Ruck's brother Marcus is then projected to go at 31st overall, pretty consistent from last time. And then finally, rounding out the first round, it's projected to be Jack Hextall, who fell just one spot from the previous two consensus boards. But like I said, it is a lot murkier in this tier of players, so guys who just missed out on the first round in my consensus board, guys like Hackinson, Mutrin, Rogowski, Pugachev, Aram Olesen, Rubric, any of them are just as likely to go in the latter part of the first round.